What's up, guys? It's been a bit. How are we doing? We're hitting the point where floors are getting kind of difficult for this build without drastically changing it, so we'll see how it goes. They spawn like 4 of my least favorite enemy right off the bat. Okay, that was well-timed Zipcasts. Yeah, this session's going to be practicing a bit of an important skill, which is keeping power tank active. Because if my power tank is active and I zip, it will not trigger another one, so I need to use my zips with a little bit of leeway sometimes. I generally need to use my zips when the tank is going to run out. I also found out one of my mistakes has been not calling the bot to me, because the bot does actually draw aggro, which I've known but just never really thought about that much, and it's like, ah, yeah, that would make sense. So, like, if the bot isn't near me, I need to actually be calling it towards me. But I think with some optimizations, I can get to floor 500 with this, and that'll be the goal. Yeah, I have every relic. Will it get balance changes? We got no idea. They might just drop one day. They might never drop at all. We will never know. I don't know if it's worth having tactical tank aura or not. Like, that zip right there you see is too early, for instance, right? In this case, it's fine because I have second charge. So I can just save it, but yeah. I'm going to keep the bot buddy up here because I like to lure things up. You can begin your zip while the tank is active and it'll work. It just... Hold on. Yeah, actually, this is a 2400 level of early spawns. I should probably be using that. So it's like, if I zip early, it's fine, but once my explosion hits anything is when it's going to proc the effect. So if I'm not doing my thing by then, we're in trouble. Splash at some good AoE with freeze here. So we're working on that, and then just making sure we get the 50% spawn at the right time is essential information. I just didn't get my zip, so I lost that. See how many more shots it is without the zip? I know there's another boss here. I literally just need to kill one of them. Dude, they are all blocking each other's weak points. That's so unfortunate. I have Icebreaker, Explosive, Ferment, and Freeze. It's every 3 floors, so you have to clear 3 floors in a row. Ah, that's wondrous. Okay, the shield stays on for damage, that's nice. Okay, but yeah, with strong arms I tend to just go for that arm first. The one with the Tom, that's the one that allows them to up-close attack and murder you. Gatling is fairly easy to deal with. For 10, luckily. Though unfortunately I think we're falling a little bit behind here. That should be enough eggs. I have one off there. This one's probably also failed. Yeah, even with that power behind. Before. So you can see we're at the point where we're starting to struggle. We can check my stream settings, how often people complain about the bitrate. Oh, it's that. About as high as reasonably possible. Yeah. Power tank, like, at this point is just very hard to make work. I will likely need to switch to speed, even though I will desperately miss my splash it. I think, like, I'm just gonna start hitting the point pretty soon, but I would still like to take power tank to floor 500. I think it's possible. So, that's the goal right now. I don't know if it's been done or not. I think it probably has, I'd imagine, but we'll see. But I'm hoping I can get power tank to 400 with what I got right now. Yeah, I mean, speed tank's pretty... There's just a lack of things that buff your main weapon stats in every other build, and it's just... When you scale this late into the game, the ability to improve your main weapon damage becomes, like, essential. Even my run is being carried by Zip, pretty much. Zip is the thing keeping my build intact. Not anything I have on power. My power stuff is all incredibly mediocre. But my ability to... My ability to get out, like, everything is carried by Zip. Spotlights are okay. They're really good for a while, and even now they're not bad. The knockback on them is really good, but unfortunately Scorch is just low-key dog shit. I think Splash It is actually a little bit better. I could see a world where if I get really desperate to win, I'd probably switch to Meteor Mitt. And do Meteor Mitt plus Splash It, I think would be a little bit better. Give me another freeze opportunity, and then I would use Chunks to get freeze off tent and put on something else, but I don't know. That might not even be better, so it's a bit of a gambit, but then I could have more damage on the tent. I mean, they could buff it by giving damage surge to more things. I'm not opposed to that, but I think it's kind of like homogenizing the game. I think they need to do a way for, like, gadgets to scale better. Like, the power tank buff thing, the gadget they give you late game, could also, like, have an extra DPS increase for gadgets or something. Like, it could make gadgets do more damage or something. Because the power tank buff is one of the best things about it. The, like, 30% increase on it is genuinely really, really good. I don't know, the speed tank playstyle is okay, it's just, I don't know, I don't find, it doesn't look like particularly fun to use. But I also haven't used it yet, you know, so... I can't judge too much at the moment. Okay, nice double dolphin is great to see right now. And that's just a swimmer that walked in. Yeah, I'm not sure how much the tactical tank perk is helping, so I might just change that pretty soon. I'm not sure how often that's actually allowing myself to ferment. But fermentation is really important. I don't know much that's good for it. So, there's that. There's just a chance of fermenting. That's what I've been using. But there's not really much damage up I could do other than something like Powered Collection or Showstopper. But I don't have too much I can really use at this point. My DPS is about as good as it can get. Yeah, I mean, so does Zipcaster. Zipcast increases it by like 100%. Blast speed increase the next engine power. Yeah, but I don't think that's why it's used. Torque Screw is also just unbelievably broken. Like, I've seen almost unanimous agreement that Torque Screw is basically its own entire tier. Like, if Speed couldn't use Torque Screw, I don't even think it'd be as... It'd probably still be the most broken build, but I think you debate tactics with High Fiber. High Fiber is Realized Line Marker's dream of finally being good. It's not, like, amazing or anything, but it's probably one of the better gadgets. It's a pretty good ferment ability. Unfortunately, its biggest downside is you just can also have Torque Screw. Torque Screw is, like, unbelievably broken. It, like, genuinely just does everything. It is incredible. I may, in fact, do my own video on it as well. Like, they truly gave it everything. I can't even really put into words. Like, that is the one piece of balance that I'm kind of iffy about with this game. Like, it's a cool gadget, but, like, holy shit. It's a little insane. It's literally good enough that even if you're using it without the purpose of flying in the air and everything, it's still good. Like, you don't even have to use it for the thing it's intended for. It will still be broken. Oh, hi, Flyfish. Everybody else, hold on. I mean, Scorcher's just damage over time and is destined to be outclassed. Doubleman Scrapper. Yeah, I don't know if there's another power gadget that applies for men. But I can get another freeze and try to utilize that. We have some amazing snowballing in this level, though. Yeah, no, that's fine. You can live. I have easier ways of winning than that. I do need to do a video on Torque Screw, don't I? I probably need to. I'll put it on the list to do a Torque Screw video. But I'm doing a video on enemy design first, so... Hey, 450 reached here. Pretty good. Dash Bomb is underrated. Lacks freeze and ferment. Well, there you go. That's why it's not good at a certain point. I'm sure it's good for a while, but that's why it drops off. Like, I hate to be like it's that simple, but Icebreaker and Fermenting is like legitimately how DPS scales at this rank. So like, sucks, it's a cool gadget, but yeah. I'm sure it still has its uses, I don't think it's like bad, and most of this gadget stuff only applies to higher ranks, it just, at some point the enemy's HP gets ridiculous. And a, like, insane damage boost that also stuns enemies, and a complete DPS increase with a chance to explode and do even more AoE DPS is just like, it's so important. Use Dynamo person use Dash Bomb. That makes sense for Dynamo. But I bet like the other two tools are covering for that. I bet you have a freeze and a fermentation tool in there to cover. But it's cool that I can still get that high. I also think it depends on what tank you're using. Because I think if you're using Speed Tank where you have a lot of like DPS increases already, you can get away with it a little bit more. But if not, I don't think so. Like, that's the thing I think this build, I'm not sure if it lacks or not. I really need to make sure I can get consistent ferments to get enough DPS. Like, that's the main thing I'm looking at in my build, is like, am I getting enough? I don't know. That's why I have Tactical Tank on. That and, like, I'm already gonna get a ton of tank usage, so I might as well get multiple. The only one that I don't get is Speed Tank, because it doesn't seem particularly useful. Okay, there is way more things than I thought. Send in the fry. Okay. We're a little late on 50% and we have no ult, so it's a little scary. There's a smoker somewhere I gotta take care of. Means I have to rotate my whole little base of operations here. Okay, that's a huge steal. That actually just helped me the ways here. Okay, we're like half to pro now. Not bad. Yeah, I mean, Blast Boot is like really common because it has similar mobility to Dash Bomb, but you get freeze. You get more like uses out of Dash Bomb, but it's hard to compete with 100% freeze chance. Yeah, Torque Screw doesn't freeze, but it ferments, and honestly, I think that's better. I think that's better for Torque Screw, to be clear. I'm being insanely risky here, but we just need time. I can bump it off. Okay. Nice. I know Splatoon Raiders on Pack 4. Yeah, I have a video on gadget design coming up. I cannot wait to get that out. Because there's so many, like, there's a good amount of things from this game I really want to see. I'm gonna try this out. I don't know if it's good or not. I'm gonna just try it. Because explosive steps just doesn't seem that good. I don't notice the damage. So I'm gonna see if I can use this to make it a better mobility tool. We'll try it. Oh. And the only other thing I can think of equipping is vertical slash. Because I'm pretty sure if I upgrade this, it won't cost any parts. Let me check. Yeah. That's all it does. I don't know if that's worth it or not, because I think the AoE freeze is probably better. But I haven't seen what vertical slash looks like. I'll get it though, just so that my splasher can be done. Let me do a little comparison. Nice. Oh, I forgot that goes way further now. Okay. $34.85. Yeah, it's like what? It's like an extra solid % of damage. But its hitbox even with the hitbox size increase, it seems like the hitbox is really small. Like, I'm not gonna be freezing enough things. That said, the extra dash distance means I'm hitting through a lot of things. Reduced length is better for explosive steps. Wait, what do you mean? Like, I'm not gonna get both. Yeah, I don't think vertical slash is worth it. I wanted to try though. But I think extended dash is a good idea. It's gonna hit more people, and it's a better repositioning tool. So I think that seems more worth than explosive steps. I just don't see the DPS from explosive steps. It seems like a thing you do when you have like multiple splash hit dashes, but multiple splash hit dashes and slashes. I am pretty sure just aren't good. Oh, take away your main weapon problem. My main weapon is the DPS. It is gonna be a while to get used to that extra dash range, though. That is crazy. Yeah, like, that's gonna take some adjusting, but I do think it's better. Like, I can actually just force myself in a position through hordes, and that might honestly be pretty helpful. And I have the large slash area, so I should still get pretty easy hits and freezes. Yeah. I think I like it. Yeah, there's a number of splashes I would really like to see S4 do, and Splash It is 100% one of them. And generally just really like the idea of, like, less bomb-filled options. Like, Splash It as a combat tool is so interesting in a PvP setting. I would argue that many of the gadgets like Dash Bomb and Splash It would be more interesting in a PvP setting than they are in this game. Like, I think that gives you a whole lot more, like, thought into how it could be used, how it's paired with certain weapons and all that. It's something that I think would be really interesting. Even if some of them would have to be toned back a bit. Like, I think it's totally... It's not an original idea of mine, but it's one of the first things that came to mind was, like, one gadget, one sub, one on a cooldown, one on the ink tank system. Probably nerf whiting frames, or sorry, buff whiting frames for subs, make them cost a little bit more ink to compensate a bit, but I think you'd have a fantastic sub idea. Alright, I was gonna wait for 50% spawns, but there's legit so many things here. Yeah, I thought I triggered this here. Splash and not just a decap slash? Yeah, it's similar to it, but like imagine if every weapon had a, like, or not every weapon, like, imagine any weapon had a decap slash on like a 15-second cooldown and like probably more end lag. How would you utilize that? You know, how would you deal with that? Be really interesting depending on the weapons you have it on. Like so let's say it's on E-Liter, for instance, right? Let's say E-Liter has a splash hit, right? If you rush down E-Liter, it could potentially splash at you and one-hit you. Or it could dash in, miss, be even more vulnerable, and die. Or say, like, a dually that has access to a dash bomb, right? How do you decide when to use dash bombs versus your dodge rolls? How do you use that as an approach option, right? Because then you'll probably go, oh god, this would be annoying defensively. And then think, like, how insane it could be offensively as well. That kind of thing. Like, I just think the way they would interact with the game is so interesting. Like, I think there's so many fun scenarios to think of. And I also just, like, I cannot see the game going back to having, like... See, I forgot my thing. Yeah, I got stuck there. This is probably a fail. I've been AFK yapping too much, I think. I also forgot to call the fucking bot over. I think it did end up over here, though, but I forgot to call it. Wait, I have ult. This may be possible if there's enough enemies nearby, but I don't know if there is. Wait, 2 power eggs right there? Never mind, we're good. Okay, cool. They didn't troll. I mean, yeah, if there's gadgets on a kit system, then oh well, but at least you get 2 different things. But hopefully we drop the damn kit system. Oh yeah, another thing Speed Tank does is it has a lot of gadgets that give you ink refill, which is also insanely busted. And then you don't have to leave the air. See how chaotic all this gameplay looks like on the ground? Imagine if you could just not be here. As your torque screw collects power eggs for you. I dashed into things, which is understandable. That's fine, it's a free wave. Booyarang? I don't know. That's one I could see being annoying or cool. It just depends how much damage it does. I feel like that's a difficult thing to balance. It could work, but I'm more interested in the non-bomb options. Things like Tether Whale, Dash Bomb, Blast Boot, Splash It. I think would be really interesting. Alright. I actually need this to go down, please. Dude. I'm not gonna get spawns until this thing dies. Thank you. Okay, at least we get a lot off that. I knew I was gonna die. Just 1 DPS. Dude, I bounced off an enemy so I didn't hit the ground. Okay. 460. awkward rotation, but I think that needs to go down. Dude, why'd the strike spawn here? Okay, we're good. Yeah, this is too little DPS. I fear this run is almost certainly cooked. Yeah, there's gonna be no effects. There's just not effects. I got the later spawns way too late. The big shots are so hard to hit because I do less damage further away and they jump so fucking high, dude. I gotta just start playing to knock them off with Splatalites. And splat shit. Oh, wonderful. Well. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, this level's over. Yeah, rolling this one on, like, turn 1 is just insane. Like, with Frial, this is possible. Without it, I literally don't have the DPS. Like, I just straight up can't do enough damage to possibly win. Like, this one's just almost impossible for me statistically. You need 2,600 power eggs when there's 2 of these, because they up the requirement for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why that's not just like at 2,400 level. All good though. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work getting 4 or 500, to be honest. It is gonna be hell. But we'll see what happens. But I think after 4 or 500, I grind the game for fun, probably with other people, and I build speed tank. And torque screw. It's going to be a long farming process to get them to where my power stuff is, but it's just going to be a necessary swap at some point if I want to keep grinding floors. And I'd like to get to like 700 one day, at least right now, to go forward. What did I even zip on? The bot buddy? Let's go 2 damage. Okay, good start. This is too early. Okay. SWS is Friday? Oh yeah, it's Friday. Probably not, but we'll see. Nah, the double slash isn't worth it. Takes up too much. Alright, I think we'll end it there. Alright. Well, 445 to 460, it's progress.